from this group, they were divided into three, and we are going to have three representatives to give us their points on what they found more important about this book. When we talk about stretching your arm to reach your peers, what did they pick as I have it in the book? And what are they going to share with us so that it can be of benefit to you who is watching?
Hello, my name is Bessie, and I must admit that I feel privileged to take part in the group discussion of Chapter 4 with Father Dennis.
My name is Fred Sagini. I'm grateful to join Father Dennis to discuss the book, The Cry of the Young People. As our group, we are going to join the discussion from Chapter 4, Stretch Out Your Hands, Your Peers.
My name is Zilda Banjiri, and I'm privileged to be with Father Dennis in the discussion of Chapter 4 of The Cry of the Young People.
So I've got to know Father Dennis since the first time that he came here to talk about youth and empowerment. He gave us the book, The Cry of Young People, which we have analyzed, my group and myself, and we've gotten some insights that we would like to share with those who are viewing us, as well as any other person who will be able to access this information. So generally, looking at the book from Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 3, Chapter 1 is just about the real experiences of young people. And from those experiences, I got to learn that the more you speak about the things that are disturbing you, the easier you feel about the burden. To give an example of the young man who felt that he had given up in life, but when he talked to Father Dennis, he saw a new life. He began thinking about a better future, and he was so ready to use his energy to become a better person. So Chapter 2 is about changing your perception to help the young people. So I will say perception is just how you view things. And I will say that most people have a different perception on the young people. They feel like maybe young people have not known what they want in life. But according to this book, Father wants us to view things differently, to view young people as people who have energy to pick up from where they've fallen and actually make something out of their lives. So it's all about all of us changing our perceptions and all of us taking a positive perception of life. And basically in Chapter 3, I will say that free yourself by being yourself. That is a word that even without reading the whole chapter, that will drive me to want to be a better person. I want to free myself by being myself. So the greatest thing that you can do is just being yourself. And that will free you because you don't have to be fake. You just have to live your life and having your own principles by being yourself. So I would like to attach all that to Chapter 4, which is just about stretching out your hand to your peers. The moment you know yourself, you're able to help others. The moment you discover the person that you are, the moment you change the perception of life that you have, that will definitely give you the drive to help others also to change their perception and to be better by you holding out your hand to them.
Briefly, I'm going to take you through Chapter 1, the real expression of young people. From there, we saw how young people, they express themselves. Some are not denied by their parents to express themselves. We take, for example, boarding schools where parents think that it's suitable for their kids when they reach class 4 to go to a boarding schools, and whereby young people are not, they don't dwell well with their parents' opinions. Some came out crying loudly that they should be given a chance. Some come out crying loudly, asking their parents to give them a chance to appear in their discussion with their parents when they want them to go to a boarding school. Some don't like the boarding school because of the instructors which are there in the boarding schools. In Chapter 2, Father talks about change your perception to help the young. For example, we take, like, you have to learn how to take a pause in life. Sometimes in life, maybe you may having things to do, but you have to take some time to think about it. You pause a little bit, you wait and see. Maybe you have your discussion with yourself. In Chapter 3, also Father talks about free yourself by being yourself. What does that mean? Being yourself is like you have to be the monster of yourself. You have to come out clear from inside you to take over what is truly, and maybe to be exposing some in thoughts of you as a young person.
In chapter 1 of this book, we have learnt about peer pressure in the families. Peer pressure is when young people cave to the thoughts of their peers and they forget about themselves.
What do you think you have learned from this book?
Chapter 4, stretch out your hands to your peers. That, without much saying, will give us an idea of what you're going to discuss. One young person stretching out their hands to the other. And I would like to say that the points we actually picked are the points that Father has outlined in the book. I will start by turn your peers to become collaborators in becoming yourself. That young people always want to do something for their parents. You can change the life of one young person today. And the last point is that young people have entrusted their life, but they have at some point been misled. Now let me lead my life, and that is it. So the end point is that young people have reached a point that they've decided to live their own lives. And I will again take it from the beginning. Turn your peers to be collaborators in becoming yourself. So that tells you that this journey of trying to find yourself cannot be done by you alone. You need to have other young people in your life so that they're able to teach you, maybe through their mistakes, through their advices, and you're able to learn from them. So collaborate with them so that in each and every day of your life, you're able to learn to become a better person. And I would like to say that in this journey of becoming yourself and also collaborating with the young people, you may find these people who will always want to pin you down. People will always want to make you feel like you're less of a person. People will always want to make you feel like your dreams cannot be achieved. But I will tell you that it's all about what you decide to pick. It's all about the kind of energy that you decide to have. If you choose positive energy, then even those negative words will not have any effect on your life, as per the positive energy will do. So I would like to encourage all the young people to take the positive things and leave out any kind of negative energy.
In our group, we found that developing positive attitudes towards our peer pressure is very important. This is due to having negative attitudes may lead you to causing a lot of misunderstanding to yourself. One, you can introduce yourself to drugs and alcohol. Two, sexual relationship. Three, also you can have dangerous behaviors, whereby, like now, we take alcohol and drugs.
You said about drug abuse. What are drugs? What does the book say about drugs? I know I have talked about drug abuse, that you will never abuse drugs, but they will abuse you. Do you agree, everyone?
In our group, we realized that young people take drugs maybe due to stress from their parents. Others, they may be involving themselves in bad groups. And others, maybe they want to be like others by copying what they do in their life. In the book, Take Care of the Young People, Father Dennis talks about drugs abuse. And he says that you cannot abuse the drugs, but the drugs will abuse you.
You know, first impression matters. When someone looks at you, there is that kind of impression that they get. The first words that come from your mouth, the first things that you say, they matter a lot. And I would also like to say that in the process of collaborating with others, never forgo your dreams, never forget where you're headed. Do not now mix up with the rest of the people, then you forget what you're supposed to do. Then you compromise your principles, you forget your dreams in the process of helping others. It's supposed to be a win-win situation for both of you. It's supposed to be a win-win for both you and the other person that you're trying to help out. Even as you're helping, ensure that you grow yourself. Ensure that in the process of helping others, if there's anyone who has done a mistake, ensure to learn from their mistakes so that you also don't repeat the same mistake. For example, unity in diversity. In my group, we have different kinds of talents. We have people who can actually draw. For example, we have Ivan, who is a good artist. We have Soila and Kavata, who can do great art and design. We have Irene here, who is a very good listener. And I think having listening skills is what most people lack. And I compliment her for that. And I will say that is the unity that we all have in our own diverse ways, and we are still united as a team. So kindly, other people out there, endeavor to be united in your differences. So my group and I have learned that the key to a good collaboration with young people is developing a positive attitude towards everyone, despite of their differences, because there is unity in diversity. Diverse ideas, diverse kind of beliefs, they can all be incorporated to bring unity.
We have learned that you can change the life of a young person today. Father has listed some tips in the book that you can use to change a life of a young person today. 1, see their need for support. 2, through love, change. 3, listen well to unsaid words. And lastly, 4, connect the young person with God above everything else.
In chapter 4, we learned 5 points. The first point is drug abuse. The second point is alcohol. The third, stealing. The fourth, sexual relations. And the fifth, bullying. Out of the 5, our attention was drawn to stealing.
From the book, I have also said about 5 social pressures, and where you are picking one of them being stealing. Do you think that stealing is a good thing to do? Now, what have you learned from the book about stealing? Would you wish other young people to know something about stealing?
According to us, we knew stealing is taking something without permission. And stealing isn't good. Father has written stealing as one of the social pressures. As a group, we learned that we should teach others to know that stealing isn't right. It is stated in Exodus chapter 20 verse 5 and Ephesians chapter 4 verse 28 that the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy.
Positive energy for what we picked, it gives you the drive to walk out of difficult situations and circumstances. Because despite the difficulties, you're able to view a positive idea about life, a positive view about everyone. And that is what our group, we have decided that we are going to view things differently. And that is the main thing that we picked from this chapter, that we shall view things positively despite the fact that not everyone else will be doing that. We want to bring a difference in us and as well as others. We've also taken the point that there are people who actually expect others to do things for them. So I want all of us to rethink our thinking again and take it from this point that you expect others to live to expectations. That is not going to lead you anywhere. Have your own expectations about life, but don't expect everyone to live up to your expectations. And we, as a group, we decided that we are all going to have our own expectations and we will not expect anyone to live up to our expectations. We are going to decide how to view life. We are going to set our own principles.
We saw that by connecting a young person to God, it is the most powerful thing, because in everything that he will be doing by the will of the Lord, because from the book we learned that everything you'll be doing, keep God first. in the morning when you wake up, ask the Lord to guide you in everything you may be doing. So with God, you will find yourself also busy doing something else, and He will guide you doing everything during your day. You not involve yourself in any wrong or misusing of the drugs. As Father quotes Mother Teresa, we need to find God, and He cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass grow in silence. See the stars, the moon, and the sun, how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls.
When you talk about sexual relationships, what do you understand about sexual relationship?
As per the book, the first thing that was there even before we discussed anything is just think about the consequences of irresponsible sexual relations. And Father wrote something that I found so catchy, that if you're able to take 90% responsibility for those actions, then you're good to go. But if you're not, and you expect your partner to supplement what you cannot take responsibility for, then kindly quit.
How did you find it in your group? Did all agree with what sexual relationship should be? What have you learned?
In our group, the notion we had about sexual relations was that not all relations that are sexually based are bad. It depends with what you do in your sexual relations. According to me, sexual relationships is to have a boyfriend, someone whom you are sexually attracted to. And as per my point of view, that attraction is not wrong because it's not in our control to have a sexual attraction. But after I read the book, I got a bit wavy or shaky about the whole notion, but I guess I learned something. According to Father's presentation in this book, it is not wrong to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. But what you do is what matters. And if you're not ready to take responsibility for that relationship, if you're not ready to be in control of that relationship, then you should not be in any relationship until the day you'll be ready to be in control and to take responsibility for your actions. The third thing that we picked is that young people are ready to do something for their parents, which is maybe something that most people take time to realize. For example, I would say in that there was an experience that was given about the two daughters wanted to do something for their mother during her birthday. And they went to Father and spoke to him, and he came in handy and helped them to figure out something to do for their mother. So it means these young people actually think about their parents, and they think about their well-being, and they think how best they can surprise them during certain occasions, how they can make them feel special. And this is one thing I think parents should really appreciate and also encourage young people to continue doing. So parents should also understand that young people care for them, and they want also the best for their parents, and they also want their parents to feel special and to feel appreciated.
I want to encourage young people outside there, from the words of Mother Teresa, that we have to learn to have good reasoning skills so that we can learn what God is doing in us.
Father is challenging us today on page 90 in his book to teach peers that is wrong to steal, and in fact, the divine world categorically states, do not steal. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 5, on the same subject, St. Paul says, he who steals must steal no longer, but rather he must labor, performing with his own hands what is good, so that he will have something to share with one who has need. From this, we have learned as young people, we should we should respect ourselves by respecting things that do not belong to us.
From chapter 4, we have picked so many things, but I will say that there are those things that have really made us feel like we are going to pick them and use them in our lives. One, about relationships. In my group, we have decided that we're going to be in productive relationships that are going to help us be better persons. And we're going to be in relationships that are not going to drain us. We're going to be in relationships the moment we are ready to take responsibility for our actions and be ready to be in control. We've also taken the point that if you want to help others, make sure that you're also growing in the process. Take time to listen to others. My parting shot. As fathers quoted St. Augustine, to fall in love with God is the greatest romance. To seek Him, the greatest adventure. To find Him, the greatest human achievement. How about you try that? Thank you.
Hello, how are you? Fine. Thank you very much for taking your time to read the book of the Cry of the Young People, written by Father Dennis, and also to take much of your time on chapter 4, discussed about it. It is so good, we don't take it for granted. And I believe that whatever has been highlighted there, you're going to walk the talk, especially the subtopics that have been highlighted there, that is stealing, bullying, and sexual relationships. Please, 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 let that book be your guide. I've seen you people, you've read, you've understood, you've even discussed it out. Please make sure that you walk the talk and you're going to be the best people, the best in the future. May God bless you. May God bless Father for coming up with this program. Thank you so much. Thank you, Analea. God bless you.